wake up today to be average. So why are we living that way? I truly do believe that God wants us to be wealthy. God desires for us to live our best. You can have everything that you want in this life. You can have the money, the family, the marriage, the business, the car, whatever it is that you want. You can have it. Wealth is your birthright. You deserve to be wealthy. These are the secrets of a money mogul, the keys to living an abundant life. Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Secrets of a Money Mogul podcast. I'm your girl, Jaleesa Ann, and I'm on a mission to inspire 1 million women to reach financial freedom. And I'm so blessed to have this new podcast, this new medium, this new way to reach women and to change lives. And I'm so thankful that you have taken time out of your day to download this episode, to listen to it. And I promise you, this one is going to be a good one. So you definitely want to stay tuned. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and that is your words and the power of your words and speaking and affirming things over your life. So a couple of years ago, I think back in 2016, 2015, I used to do this Sunday night prosperity call. It was the Money Mogul Prosperity Call, and this was the most popular topic that we talked about. Probably the most requested, most downloaded, greatest feedback that I received from this particular episode, and I decided to revive that content and speak about it again because that call has been archived. So I thought this would be the perfect time to bring this up and to talk about this information once again. So one thing that I know for sure is that your words have power. Your words are the most powerful force available to you. You know, the Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And I have always been a firm believer in affirmations. So when I first got started on social media, I used to post affirmations all the time. And I speak affirmations every morning. Every morning that I wake up, I speak them, I write them, I live them. And in order for them to work, you have to do more than just speak them, more than just write them. And I have a whole course on that, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're just talking about the power of our words. And if you've ever been in a situation where, you know, maybe you are applying for a promotion, maybe you were, going after something that, was new to you, and you said to a friend, oh, it's never going to happen, or I don't believe that it's possible for me. And then it didn't happen. Like you didn't get the promotion, you got denied or whatever it might be. And then you said, I knew that was going to happen. Part of the reason that happened is because you spoke it into existence. And I think that if we were more careful with our words, we would speak better things into our life, more prosperous things into our life, and we would really begin to see change. So when I got started on my personal development journey, not just my wealth building journey, but my journey to really change my entire life, I had to eliminate certain things from my vocabulary because I wanted to be a different person. I wanted to be a wealthy person. I wanted to be the type of person that could have it all, that did have it all. And I knew that these words could not be in my vocabulary. So I had to eliminate them. So today we're going to be talking about 7 words that you need to eliminate from your vocabulary in order to be successful. So let's get to it, shall we? So the first word that you need to eliminate from your vocabulary in order to be successful is the word can't. Now, can't has crushed more dreams than any other word in the English vocabulary. The truth is that if you believe that you can't achieve something, you won't even try. It's like the door is shut before you even try to open it. So we are limited by our own self-limiting beliefs. And when we tell ourselves we can't, we don't try. Like our mind, our bodies, like we don't even put in any effort to go after that dream. If I tell myself that I can't lose weight, there's no way I'm putting that cheeseburger down. Like there's no way. The cheeseburger tastes good. The cheese is nice and gooey and I love cheeseburgers. And if I don't believe that I can lose weight by putting the cheeseburger down, if I say that I can't do it, there's no way that I'm even going to attempt to do that. So can't is one of those words that we've got to get it out of our vocabulary. And when you take can't out of your vocabulary, you have to replace it with something, because there's a lot of the times when we're doing personal development or we're even doing, wealth creation, we focus on restriction. So I'm going to use money when for this example. So for instance, I'm looking to um, save more money. So some people would focus on restriction. They would focus on, cutting back cable, cutting back spending, cutting back all of these things. So restricting things. But sometimes you have to not just restrict things, but you have to replace it with something else. So when it comes to these words, or when it comes to, like, instead of just cutting cable, I'm going to replace it with something that's a better alternative, like Sling TV, something that's more cost effective and that helps me get to my goal, but that doesn't make me feel restricted. Like I can't have it. So hopefully y'all are getting what I'm saying there. But instead of saying the word can't, we need to replace it with can. Because the truth is, it's not that you can't do it, it's that you've made a choice not to do it, or you've made a choice not to do what it takes to do it. So, I want to tell you guys a story to kind of basically solidify this whole can't thing. If you guys know who Roger Bannister is, Roger Bannister is the first man to ever run a mile in under 4 minutes. So before, when Roger Bannister was training and he was attempting to accomplish this goal, he was constantly being told that he couldn't. He's constantly being told, you can't do that. That's impossible. There were people that were saying, even experts that were saying that there was no way that the human body could run a mile in under 4 minutes, that the human body would actually collapse under all of this pressure. And he never accepted what other people spoke over his life. And some of us are stuck where we are because we've accepted what other people have spoken over our lives. They've told us that we can't. So we've accepted that, and now we're telling ourselves that we can't. So the whole world thinks that it's impossible to run a mile under 4 minutes until Roger Bannister accomplishes this goal. He's constantly telling himself that he can. He's constantly training. He's constantly putting into action the things that he needs to do in order to accomplish this goal. And once he gets there, all of a sudden, it's possible. All of a sudden, you have people all over the world running a mile in under 4 minutes. When before this, everyone thought it to be impossible. Y'all, they thought that the human body would physically collapse under the pressure if anyone ran a mile under 4 minutes. But because this man continued to tell himself that he can do it, because he continued to not let someone else's self-limiting belief hinder him, he was able to break that can't and make it a can. And not just make it a can for himself, but make it a can for people all over the world. Now people all over the world run a mile in under 4 minutes. Not me myself, because I don't run, y'all. But you know, people all over the world run a mile in under 4 minutes. And it's no big deal. Everyone knows that it's possible. Everyone knows that they can do it. And it's all because this one man decided that he was not going to let someone else's can't become his can't. So that's the first word we got to get out of our vocabulary. Cut it. When you hear yourself saying that, replace it with something else. Replace it with can't. Replace it with can. Replace can't with can. So instead of I can't be debt free, I can't have it all, you say that you can. Say that you can. So that's number one. So the second word that you need to eliminate from your vocabulary in order to be successful is the word but. So but is one of those words that pretty much negates everything that you say after it. So if I'm going to say, you're very smart, but you don't apply yourself. Whenever we use the word but, people are no longer focusing on what you said before the but. They're focusing on what you said afterwards. So it pretty much negated everything that you said to me in the beginning. If I'm saying to myself, I'm pretty, but the but pretty much means that I don't feel pretty, that I don't think I'm beautiful, So the mind automatically is going to focus on the negative part that comes after the but. And but can be used as an excuse, because it's like, I want to lose weight, but right there, you already know an excuse is coming after that but. You already know that that what's coming after the but is, it's not going to excuse the first part of it, but I'm going to use it as that. If that's a word that I'm going to be using in my vocabulary. So you could say, I'm going to start a business, but. Well, but pretty much means you're not going to do the first part, because you've already made an excuse. You've already set a hindrance. You've already have this limiting belief because of the word but. So completely eliminate but. If you have to say, I'm going to start a business, but nope, eliminate but. Don't even put that in there. Go ahead and say, I'm going to start a business, and I'm going to do it by doing XYZ. Just get but completely out of there, because it's not something that needs to be a part of your vocabulary. Not if you want to be extremely successful. Not if you want to be prosperous and wealthy. Just get it out of there. So the third word that you should eliminate from your vocabulary in order to be successful is the word should. So whenever I would have, before I work with someone, before I do coaching with someone one-on-one, I always do a strategy session or a brainstorming session. And we always outline what's going on in their life, in their business, in their finances. And I hear a lot of shoulds. I should be investing. And should sometimes goes with but, because they'll be like, oh, I should be doing this, but, and then, there's the excuse right after the but. I should be starting my business, but, I can't even think of of an excuse right now, but I should be. There's a lot of guilt and there's a lot of shame with the word should. And it has a lot of negative feelings with it. Just saying it right there, just me saying I should do this, it felt like a negative connotation. Like it felt like something negative. So instead of saying I should, um, I always tell my clients to use the word choose. So instead of saying I should save, the truth is you chose not to. You know what you should do, but you've chosen not to. So I either choose to save or I choose not to. I either choose to start a business or I choose not to. I either choose to invest or I choose not to. And sometimes when it comes to the word should, there's things that we feel like we should be doing, and it's because someone else told us we should be doing. Our mothers told us that we should be a doctor because doctors make more money. So I feel like I should be going to medical school. But when I get to the core of it, I'm not even interested in it. I have no desire to do that. But because it's been told to me over and over and over and over again, I believe that I should do that. But when you get with the right person and you get with the right coach and you get with someone who really wants to pull your desires out of you, and they begin to really get down to the root of why you're doing what you're doing, and you're saying, well, I should be going to medical school, I should be doing this, and you realize that you feel you should be doing that all because it's someone else's belief. It's not even your own personal desire. It's not even something that you want. It's not even in your heart. It's just something that you've been told you should be doing, but not something that you actually want to do. So when we get the word should out of our vocabulary and we choose or we choose not to, and we recognize that everything's a choice. Everything's a choice. I should go to the gym, but I made a choice not to. So when we recognize that everything is a choice, we can begin to choose differently. And that's what I love about words and about affirming and about changing your life through the power of words, is that small shifts in your vocabulary can really begin to transform your life, because it transforms your actions and it transforms your beliefs. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not just going to wake up one day and just be like, okay, I don't say should, I don't say but, I don't say can't, I don't say any of these words. But if you make a conscious effort to recognize where in your life you are using these and where in your life you can replace these with more positive things, where in your life you can begin to make different decisions in order to change, your life will be transformed. It really will. So that is number 3. Should is number 3. So let's get to number 4. And number 4 is one of my personal faves that I hate. And that is the word someday. The 4th word that you have to eliminate from your vocabulary in order to be successful is the word someday. So someday is an indefinite reference to time. It's easy to commit to someday because someday does not exist. It doesn't exist. You can always say someday, but that day never arrives. It's never going to arrive. It's not like saying I'm going to get it done on Monday, because if I say I'm going to get, a new funnel done on Monday, you're going to be expecting to see it on Monday. You're going to be expecting me to put something out on Monday. But if I say, oh, I'm going to do it someday, that's an indefinite time frame. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And in order for you to be successful, you are going to have to set dates on your goals. You're going to have to set a timeline on your goal, because really it's just fear. You know, this scares people. It scares people to put a definite date on their goals, because they think, well, what will happen if I don't make that goal? What will happen if I tell the world that I'm going to do something by January 1st, and come January 1st, it's not done? Let me tell you, it's not the end of the world. Set a date. Set a date for your goals and work towards that date, because I promise you, if you set a date for January 1st, you're going to get so much further along than if you set a date for someday. So even if January 1st comes and maybe you haven't accomplished that goal the way that you want to, maybe you haven't launched the business exactly how you want to, but trust me, you're going to be a lot farther than if you had sat there saying, someday I'll do it. Someday I'll get to it. So setting a definite date to your goals. And it's okay to pick a new date. You know, it's okay that when January 1st rolls around, maybe you haven't accomplished things. Look, I set a date to start this podcast, but you know, in the beginning, I would always say coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. And I never said someday, because I had already eliminated someday from my vocabulary, but I still found a way to kind of squeeze in the same concept. And it wasn't until I set a definite date that this is launching. This is launching on this date, no matter what. So, you know, it doesn't matter what my original date was at this point. Because it's okay to adjust the date. It's okay to adjust the goal. If you don't hit your target goal, if January 1st comes and you're not completing your goal, it's okay to readjust it, but do not readjust it to someday, because someday does not exist. Readjust it to January 15th or, you know, February 1st or whatever it might be. Just don't adjust it to someday. So someday is one of those words we're going to have to get rid of in order to be successful. So let's move on to the fifth word that we have to get rid of and remove from our vocabulary, because words have so much power, in order to be successful. So we've got to remove this word in order to be successful, and that word is never. Never. So never is one of those words that hinders your growth. It's one of those terms that is very it's very definite, and it's very finite, and it's very you know, it's kind of like can't. If you believe something is never going to happen, you're never going to try. If you believe that you can never be debt free, if you believe that you can never run a successful business, if you think that you're never going to get married, or that you will never have the money to save and invest, or that you'll never reach financial freedom, you will not even try. You won't even attempt it. You won't even attempt to do it. You will not take any action. You will sit there in the same place, and then 10 years later you will look up and wonder why you're still in the same place, why things have not progressed the way that you wanted them to, and it's all because this word never. You don't believe that it's possible for you. You don't believe that you can go after those things. And never causes you to quit before you even get started. Before you even get started. So I'm a firm believer of affirmations. And sometimes, you know, one of my favorite affirmations is, I believe I can have it all, right? And to me, the affirmation I believe, or the affirmation that most people would go for would be, I have it all. Like, I already have it all. But the reason that I don't say that affirmation is because it seems so fake to me. Because in the beginning, I did not believe that I could have it all. I thought that having it all would never happen for me. I believed that it was not possible for me. So I needed an affirmation that was going to be aligned with a new belief. But that wasn't going to seem fake. That wasn't going to be completely like every time I said it, my mind's like, "Oh, shut up." That's never going to happen. That's not possible. Like, I didn't want to create this inner battle with myself. So I would always say, not I can have it all, even though now I can say that because I believe I can have it all, but I would say I believe I can have it all because I just wanted the belief. I wasn't ready to say that I can have it all because I did not believe that it was possible for me. I thought that I could never have it. So never is one of those words I had to really get out of my vocabulary. And I had to really start from the beginning with saying I believe I can have it all. So eliminate never. Just choose today to be more conscious about what you're saying and what you're speaking over your life, and choose today to make a different decision. So let's talk about the sixth word that you need to eliminate from your vocabulary in order to be successful. And that word is won't. So won't implies unwillingness. Won't is another term that shuts the door before you even begin. It's one of those things that kind of just causes you to quit, because if you believe that something won't happen, if you believe that things won't change, you will not take any action in order to change them. You will not be open to new opportunities that are around you that could completely change your life, because it won't happen for you. So why would you do that? So recognize where you are saying won't in your life, where you are saying that you won't do something, because it implies an unwillingness to work. And if we can begin to shift won't, if we can begin to recognize where we're saying that, where we're lacking action, we can begin to really change things. So the last and final word that you have to eliminate from your vocabulary, and this is a big one for me. This is a one that I'm still working on. Y'all, like I'm still working on this one, and I recognize immediately when I say it, and I try to correct it. But that word is try. And there's a saying, and I think it came from Star Wars, I want to say. I think Yoda said it. That's Star Wars, right? Yes. I think Yoda said it in Star Wars. And he says, do or do not. There is no try. Do or do not. There is no try. So basically, try is a cop out. I mean, that's pretty much what he's saying there. Like, you're either going to pick up the ball or you're not going to pick up the ball. There is no try. Because if you say, I tried to pick up the ball, the truth of the matter is you didn't pick up the ball. If you say, I tried to start a business, the truth of the matter is you didn't. You know, if you say, I tried to save, the truth of the matter is that you did not. So you either do or you do not. There is no try. And it's one of those words that we use, like it's just become like common language. Like, oh yeah, I tried to wake up this morning and go to the gym. but I didn't. You know, it kind of softens the blow. It kind of makes it okay that you didn't accomplish the goal. But at the end of the day, the goal still didn't get accomplished. So, you know, there's really no way to kind of sugarcoat that. And when it comes to our goals, when it comes to success, try will not get you there. Try will not get you to where you're going. Try will not get you to financial freedom. Try will not get you to the life that you love. Try will definitely not get you to the marriage that you love, because trying, I've been married 2 years, and I'm going to tell you, like, trying, you don't get an A for effort. You either do or you do not. Like, that's how I feel. Try will not get you there. You are either working towards your goals actively, you're either working on your relationship actively, you're either actively starting your business, you're either going after these things, or you're not. There is no try. Part of it is just not living in a fantasy world, you know, like just being real with ourselves, just not lying to ourselves, or not celebrating mediocrity, really. Just being real and saying, like, I didn't go to the gym today. Not I tried to go to the gym today, because that sounds much better. Oh, I tried to go to the gym. No, I did not go to the gym today. And recognizing that and facing that head on so that we can change it, so that we can make better decisions. So why didn't I accomplish this goal? Why didn't I go to the gym today? Oh, well, I didn't get up early. You know, I didn't go to sleep on time. You know, my alarm didn't go off. Okay, how can we correct this? How can we fix it so that next time there is no try? It's I did it. I went after it. I got it, you know? So try is the last word we have to get out of our vocabulary in order to be successful. And when I tell you guys that is one thing that I am still working on, because I found myself, especially when it comes to revamping my business and starting my business, I would always say, oh, I tried to send that email. I tried to reach out to that person. And the truth is, I didn't. I didn't try hard enough. I didn't try hard enough to where I got it done. I didn't do what it takes to get it done. So it was like I was just really making excuses for myself, just to make myself feel better. But my goals don't care about my feelings. There are days when you have to show yourself grace, and you have to be loving on yourself, and you have to, listen to your body and do all those things. I'm a firm believer of self-care. I am not telling you to neglect your self-care. Please do not misinterpret that at all. All I'm saying is that sometimes you've got to get real with yourself, and you've got to recognize when you are putting these words in your vocabulary only to make excuses for yourself, only to soften the blow that you know is already there, only so that you can block out the reality of what's taking place. So those are the words that you need to eliminate from your vocabulary in order to be successful. So just remember that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and your words have power, so use them wisely. I will see you next week. Thank you for listening. Hi, thank you for listening to today's episode. I know that you know 3 to 5 people who could use this information. So please share this out with them. Please tag this on social media. If you want to post this, you can tag me on Instagram at MyMoneyMogul, on Twitter and Facebook and everything else. I'm at Jaleesa Ann. I will tag all of that in the show notes. And be sure to check out the masterclass, 5 Secrets to Creating Wealth. 5 Secrets to Creating Wealth. You can access that masterclass at www.mymoneymogul.com/5secrets. That link will also be available in the show notes, and I will see you next week. Thank you for listening.